So you cannot use it with are you, okay? You can say, do you have courage? Because courage is something you have or something that you don't have, okay?
Oh, okay.
So you can say, do you have courage? And if you wanted to use are you would have to change that courage into an adjective. And the adjective from courage is courageous.
Oh.
All right, so let me write that in the chat box for you. You'd have to say, are you courageous? That's another way of saying, are you brave?
Using oh, okay.
So are you courageous? Or the other way of saying this is, I mean, the word that you're supposed to use in the sentence is courage, yeah? So a better way of asking that question is, do you have courage? Yeah?
Uh-huh.
I'll put it in the chat. And you can expand on that question a little bit just to make it more interesting. You can say, for example, do you have the courage to say what you think? Just as an example, yeah?
Complete the question.
Uh-huh. I'm putting some examples in the chat box. Do you have the courage to stand up to your boss, for example? Yeah.
Because if I say, do you have courage, it's in general, it's not in a specific situation.
Exactly.
What is the stand-up, teacher?
I'm sorry?
What is the stand-up?
Oh, to stand up to someone is to, for example, to confront them, okay? Or to defend yourself against them. For example, your boss tells you, I want you to work overtime, but I'm not going to pay you overtime. Oh. And you say, no, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? That's stupid. I'm not going to work overtime unless you pay me. Okay. So that's standing up to your boss. If there, you might have a coworker who says, yeah, okay, I'm going to work overtime because I want to keep my job. Yeah, I don't want to get fired. So they do whatever the boss tells them because they don't want to get fired.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's standing up to someone is to defend yourself against them if they're confronting you, or to confront them, yeah, about something, something that you don't like, or that you want them to stop doing, or something that you want them to do.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So there were, there's only one or two other little things in there, Marisol, that once you have a chance to review it, if you're still not sure about your errors, you can just let me know next week or send me an email or whatever. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All righty, but good work in general, as ever. You always do great work, Marisol. Well done. Okay, so well, it looks as if it's just you this morning for the moment, so we'll get
Nobody
started
else.
on again. Your classmates might turn up later on. I know that Carlos was traveling. He went to Arizona to see his dad, so it's possible that he's still down there. Okay, so he might not actually be coming to class this morning. Normally he would send me a text to let me know, but I've not heard from him. So, all right.
Probably late today.
I'm sorry?
Probably he's late.
Maybe. That's highly possible. We'll see if he shows up. We'll see if he shows up. Okay, so can you see the screen, Marisol?
Yes, I can.
What does it say?
Expanding vocabulary.
Excellent.
Which words do you know?
Good. All right. So let's go through this list of words. Appreciate. Do you know that one?
Yes.
To appreciate, well, it has two meanings, really. The more common meaning is to give thanks or to show gratitude to someone for something. Okay? Mm-hmm. Its other slightly less common meaning is to increase in value, as in if you buy a house, for example, your house normally appreciates in value over the years. Okay, so that means that it goes up in value, it increases in value. And I think probably houses and land and property really are the few things that appreciate in value. Maybe things like antiques, furniture, art, that kind of stuff will appreciate in value. But generally speaking, things tend to depreciate in value. Okay. Enthusiasm, do you know what that is?
It's a feeling.
It's a feeling. Is it a good or a bad one?
It's a good one.
It's a good yes, indeed. It's a good feeling. So enthusiasm is normally something that you show. Yeah, it's normally goes with things like energy and eagerness. If you show enthusiasm for a job, for example, it means that you look forward to doing that job. You want to do it. You're always full of energy and expectation and anticipation when you do that job. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, it's another way of saying energy or, eagerness. Yeah. Goal. You should know what a goal is.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about soccer.
No.
Normally goals are objectives that we set either for ourselves or other people set for us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A hobby.
Yes.
You know what a hobby is?
Yes.
What's an example of a hobby?
For example, I do exercise.
Yes,
I something like you enjoy to do.
Excellent.
Really your work.
Yes, indeed. It's something that you enjoy doing for fun. Yeah. Something that you do in your spare time or in your free time. Okay, good. Well done. What's an interview?
When I apply for a job.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. When you apply for a job, you typically have a job interview. It's basically a formal conversation between two people. Yeah. It's a formal conversation, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a job. It could be interviewed, say, for the news. Yeah, a news article or for a magazine article. You could be interviewed, I don't know, if you were an athlete, yeah, you could be interviewed for a sports feature, something like that. Okay. Recommend.
I know what is this.
Good. That's always a good sign when you know.
How can I explain that?
I don't know. You tell me.
For example, I'm going to say in a job, when
Mm-hmm.
I know a person that wants to work with my boss, with us, and I know that person is a hard worker or something,
Uh-huh.
I say to my boss, I know a person and it's all good for her or for him.
Uh-huh. There you go. So you recommend someone for a position at your company. Yes, indeed. Yeah. You can recommend, say, um, your dad is a carpenter, right?
Yes.
So you can recommend your dad um, to carry out a job at someone's house that you know. You could say to, if you knew someone, you had a friend that wanted some woodwork done, you could say to your friend, my dad is a carpenter. I recommend him. He does excellent work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Good. What about reflect?
Reflect. Um, I'm not sure, teacher.
That just means to think, Marisol, and it means to think normally quite deeply. Yeah. So um, you could say lockdown has given us all the opportunity to reflect on our lives. Yeah. Because it's basically given us a lot of time to think because we've not been able to go out and about doing the normal things. So a lot of us have had a lot of time to think. Yeah. It's just another way of saying to think, to reflect. And it's normally to think quite deeply about something profound. Okay, so you don't really
It's like
reflect.
a reflection.
Exactly.
Okay.
Reflection. Reflection is the noun from the verb to reflect.
Okay. I was confused because it sounds like a reflection, but reflect, I think I didn't hear.
You've not heard that. You've not heard that. Yeah, it's the verb. Yeah, to reflect. And reflection is what you do. Yeah, so you basically undertake reflection or you engage or take part in reflection. That's when you think carefully and deeply, and the connotation is that you think for you take a long hard look at something important. Yeah.
Mm.
So you might reflect on your life, you might reflect on your job and what you want to do, you might reflect on your goals and your objectives. Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, sibling.
Brothers and sisters.
Excellent. There you go. Well done. That's all it is. A brother or a sister. Okay. So what I'd like you to do now, Marisol, take a couple of minutes
Uh-huh.
and write for me, please, 5 questions for me
Okay.
using any of these words on the list in the list. Okay?
Okay.
Take a couple of minutes. I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes to do that.
Okay.
All right.
I'm done, teacher.
Excellent. Well done. Okay, let's hear them.
What is your favorite hobby?
Mm-hmm.
When was your last job interview?
Excellent.
Which is your biggest goal in your life?
Good.
What restaurant do you recommend me?
Mm-hmm. Recommend to me. Recommend to me. Mm-hmm.
To me. Do you reflect lately about your life?
Uh-huh.
And you said 5, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh,
That was that 5?
yes.
Good. Excellent. The last one about reflect.
Uh-huh.
It sounds a little awkward. Read it for me again, please.
Do you reflect lately about your life?
Okay. So, do you reflect sounds a little bit present tensey, okay? But it's better to say, if you want to talk about someone who's reflecting in the present tense, you would say, do you reflect often? Okay. And that makes it more kind of as something that happens on a regular basis. Yeah, periodically. Okay. Because as soon as you put the word lately in there, what you would expect is either a present perfect or a present perfect continuous. Okay, simply because you've put that word lately in there, you've given it a time frame of recently. Okay, so you could say, have you reflected lately on your life, or have you been reflecting lately on your life? Okay.
Oh,
If
in
you
your life, not
in,
about your life.
uh, on, mostly it sounds
Oh,
better with on. Yeah.
oh,
On your life, or about. On or about. On sounds a lot better.
okay.
But if you take the word lately out, then that becomes basically um, uh, you can then revert to using the do you. Okay, so do you reflect a lot? Do you reflect regularly? Do you reflect frequently on your life or your goals? Okay,
Okay.
because that little word lately makes, as soon as you put that's kind of a time marker that almost dictates that you have to use either the present perfect or the present perfect continuous. Okay, because it doesn't sound right with lately and do. That's just the way that word works.
Okie dokie.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Okie dokie. Any other questions on these words?
No.
All right, good. I mean, they're not particularly difficult.
Yeah, I have a question, but it's not like, it's, for example, siblings. It's for
Okay,
female or men, right?
say again, please.
Siblings is for female and male.
Yes.
Okay. And if
Both.
I want to ask somebody if she has boys or girls, how can I say if I say in general?
Are you talking about whether she has children?
Yes. But
Yeah, you couldn't use. Sorry, go ahead.
because I think if I say, do you have children? It's only for little kids, or it's in general for teenagers. Or
Yeah, it's general. It's general. Because you can ask someone, do you have children? And they would say to you, yes, I have five children. Or they could say, some are young and some are grown up children. Yeah. Even if they can say that I have two adult children and two teenage children or whatever.
Okay.
Children, someone's children are always their children, whether they're little or big.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's not the same as kids, although a lot of people will say, yeah, I have 3 kids and they're all grown up now, but they're still kids, right? As far as that person is concerned.
Yes, I have a baby. How old is he? Now he's 30.
Exactly right. So siblings really and truly are brothers and sisters of any age. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to ask someone about their children, you wouldn't use the word sibling. Okay. You would use the word children. Uh-huh. Okay. So be careful because sibling literally just means brothers or sisters. Uh-huh. Okay.
And children's for sons or
sons and daughters. Yes, ma'am. Sons and daughters.
Okay.
All right. Is that clear?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okie dokie. Let's review our gerund versus our infinitive. Do you remember these?
Yes.
Let's see how well you remember these.
I remember the first one.
You remember? Yeah, well, there's 10 of them. So hopefully you remember more than just one.
Okay.
All right. So let's see how we do with these. So I enjoy
playing music on the weekends.
Excellent. Well done. Number 2.
I can't believe that you suggested going to a museum.
Excellent. Well done. Number 3.
She will miss eating my food while I'm gone.
Well done. Number 4.
Where did you learn to play golf?
Good. Excellent. Number 5.
I'm so glad that my wife doesn't mind ironing my clothes.
Excellent. Well done. Number 6.
I used to ask the band to sing the blues every Friday.
Excellent. Number 7.
Tom mentioned coming.
Good.
Over for dinner tomorrow.
Excellent. Number 8.
They kept doing everything wrong.
Excellent. Well done. Number 9.
My parents are planning to retire.
Good. Good.
If Tina agrees to cover my shift, I can go with you.
Excellent, Marisol. 100%, 100%. Well done. 10 out of 10. Now, did you refer to your notes when you did these? Or did you remember?
Not really.
Pardon?
Because I studied a little bit of this.
Uh-huh. Excellent. Good. So
I have a question, teacher.
Sure.
To be honest, I guess.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Please be honest. I prefer you to be honest.
At number 9.
Uh-huh.
My parents are planning, if I have ing here, I need to use the infinitive, the next verb.
I am so glad you asked me that. I was hoping you would ask me that, because there's actually 2 ways to say this, okay? You can use either the infinitive and not necessarily because of planning, okay? Because you can also use the gerund. And I'll show you how that works, all right? You can say it like this: my parents are planning to retire next year. Or you can say it like this: my parents are planning, and this is also very common, on retiring next year. And as you can see, you need to put that on in there. If you're going to use the gerund of retire, you're going to have to put that on. Okay? And that's the only preposition that would work in there. You can't say planning to retiring. You have to say planning on retiring.
Okay. Because plan in the next class, it was for infinitive.
Plan in the previous class, do you mean?
In the last class?
In the last class, yeah. In the last class, yes, indeed, yeah. Because you can use both. You can use both the infinitive or the gerund, but if you use the gerund, you have to change the structure of your sentence.
Okay. And it's all the time or only in this example? Well, not in this example.
Well, yeah, plan is one of those verbs that is a little bit more versatile than the others. Yeah. So there's some, there are some verbs that are a little bit more versatile. Plan is one of them. You can't do that with all of these verbs. Okay. It depends on the verb. Okay, I'm glad you asked me that question. Good question. And the reason, Marisol, that I asked you whether you referred to your notes or whether you studied is that what you see is, and hopefully you're feeling now, that you're getting a feel for where to use the gerund and where to use the infinitive, yeah? And obviously, studying is good. So yeah, continue to do that. And obviously, especially the list that we went through last week of the specific verbs that require the infinitive and the verbs that require the gerund. Yeah. It's imperative that you do that. But what's also imperative is that you start to get this feel, which is a little bit instinctive, yeah, for which goes best, either the gerund or the infinitive, which one to use with which verb. And I want you to become a little bit more, what's the word? Intuitive, yeah? And the best way to do that is to increase your reading in English. And it's obvious that having done 10 of these, kind of like off the cuff, like you did just now on the fly, you got them all right. So you're obviously now becoming a little bit more intuitive about which is best to use, the gerund or the infinitive. I can assure you that maybe 2 or 3 months ago, you would have reverted to this kind of Spanish construct, wouldn't you? And you would have probably tried to kind of translate from Spanish with a lot of these. And, you know, you would probably have been wrong. Because if you try to revert to Spanish, you'll run into problems every time. Because Spanish does not work like this. You know, it just doesn't. You have to kind of forget for a minute. You have to forget that you know Spanish and just ignore everything you know in Spanish and just you know, stick to what you've learned in English. Because if you try to translate from Spanish, you won't get these right. Okay, so well done. Well done. Has Janet joined?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning,
Hi,
Janet.
good morning.
How are you?
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You can help Marisol because she's been working by herself for the for the lesson for the past half an hour, 45 minutes or so. So she's been missing her classmates. All right. So let's ask each other some questions. Using, where necessary, the infinitive as opposed to the gerund. Use the question to help you formulate your answer, okay? So as I said last week, whatever structure is in the question, try to reflect that same structure in your answer, okay? So Marisol, you can start, ask Janet number 1, and then you guys can alternate, okay?
Okay. Janet, name a few things that you used to enjoy doing as a kid.
Okay, I was enjoying playing.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I had my mute on. I was like, I was trying to say to you, no, things that you can use the same structure as in the question. Okay, so I used to enjoy. Okay.
Playing with my
whatever you say after that, you can put in the gerundive form. I used to enjoy playing with my friends, for example. Okay. I used to enjoy riding my bike. I used to enjoy going to the movie theater. Okay. So yeah, try to basically just mirror the structure that's in the question.
Okay.
It just stops you having to worry and think, oh, well, what structure shall I use? Just use the question to help you with the answer. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Marisol. Does your husband keep doing anything that bothers you?
Yes, he does. For example, he cleaned the garage, or all the time I forget the word for the grass. When he cut the grass, it's
mow,
M-O-P or M-O-W.
M-O-W.
Okay.
To mow the lawn, you say mow the lawn. You can say mow the grass. Doesn't sound as good, mow the grass. But you can say, Americans say that. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't know what's going on here. I tried to put it in the chat, but it won't work.
Oh, mow the grass, right?
Mow the grass. Yeah,
okay.
let me try to do that again. Technical difficulties.
Teacher, here he mow is the present tense.
Yes, it is. To mow.
I need to add S. He mows.
He mows the grass, yes.
It's only S, right? Not ES.
Only S, yes.
Okay.
So he keeps mowing the grass?
That question is if he does things that I don't like to do, right?
No, sorry. The question is, does he keep doing things that bother you? Okay? Things that bother you. Cosas que te molestan.
Que haga él.
Uh-huh.
No. Muchas gracias, no.
This is why it's important to read the question. Yeah, it's important to read and understand the question.
I think that things that bothers me to do.
Oh, no. That's not what it means. That's not what it means. It's things that bother you generally. Okay? So maybe if he keeps snoring, yeah, or if he keeps picking his nose, or, things like that, or, I was thinking, why does him mowing the lawn bother you? Does it disturb you? Or is it while you're trying to sleep, or like really early in the morning or something like that, You should, but no, that's not what the question. Oh my gosh, poor husband. Poor Marisol. Husband. Oh, you're terrible, Marisol.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You can apologize to him.
Yeah, he didn't hear, so.
That's all right then. All right, yeah.
Okay,
so
let me try again.
Okay.
Okay. He put the clothes outside of the box laundry.
Basket? Sorry?
It's like the box. I'm not sure if it is a box for the dirty clothes.
The laundry basket.
Laundry basket.
Uh-huh.
He put on the side, not in the laundry box.
So how can you reply? How can you make your answer reflect the same structure as in the question?
My husband keep doing.
So he keeps.
Keep.
And then your main verb, which is to put. Yeah. So he keeps putting.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. So he
keeps putting the clothes outside the laundry basket.
Perfect. Do you know my first husband used to do that all the time? All the time. You know what I did?
I don't understand why.
No, neither do I, Marisol. I don't get it. I didn't get it then. I don't get it now. And you know what I did? I literally left them exactly where he put them. I would only wash the clothes that were inside the laundry basket. Yeah?
Oh.
And so half of his clothes just didn't get washed. It was as simple as that. And I could never understand it. Why would you put your clothes on the floor next to the laundry basket instead of inside the laundry basket? Doesn't make sense. Didn't make sense then, doesn't make sense now. But I guess that's the way some men's brains work. Yeah. So maybe you could try doing that. Maybe you could try saying to him, I will wash what's in the laundry basket. What is not in the laundry basket does not get washed. And maybe that would make a difference to him.
That's a good idea.
There you go.
And let's close to wash.
Exactly. That's right. Fewer clothes to wash. Good. Well done. All right.
Thank you, teacher, for your advice.
Yeah, but don't forget. I wouldn't necessarily take my advice, Marisol. I'm divorced from that husband now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He was my ex-husband.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe it's not good advice to take. Maybe that's why we're now divorced. All right. Ask Janet number 3, please.
Janet, has your boss mentioned doing any special assignments?
He didn't mention doing any special this week.
Good.
Oh, this week.
Good.
Okay, Marisol. Tell me 3 things that you won't mind doing if I asked you.
That you would mind doing. Okay.
It's not clear for me, teacher.
Okay, so 3 things that you would mind doing. So 3 things that would bother you if Janet asks you. So, for example, I would mind lending you money.
Oh, okay.
I would mind cleaning your house. I'm not going to do that for you. Okay.
Not on weekends.
I would mind taking you to the airport, for example. Okay, it's a bit of a strange question. Yeah, I understand. But just try to reflect the same structure that's in the question in your answer.
Okay.
Okay.
I would mind to take care of your pets.
Yeah, I would mind. What have we got after the mind in the question, Marisol? Is that a gerund or an infinitive?
It's gerund.
It's a gerund, yeah.
Yes.
So I would mind taking care of your pets. Forget Spanish. You're going to have to forget Spanish. If you think in Spanish, you will, every time you will, it won't end well. It won't end well. Yeah. It's, it's like trying to bake a recipe at high altitude using measurements at sea level. Okay. You can't do it. You have to adjust for the altitude in your recipe, okay? Mm-hmm. So this is exactly the same. Just if you try to do it in Spanish, if you try to think in Spanish, it's not gonna work, yeah? Just ignore whatever you know in Spanish and look at the structure of the question and just reproduce the same structure in the question, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I would mind. Yes, I need to say 3.
Yes, please. Sorry. My bad. I'll
Sorry,
just shut up.
I would mind cooking on weekends. I would mind buying groceries. On Monday.
Good. Well done.
It's just for example.
Just examples, of course. I would mind babysitting your kids. Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't.
Yes.
I probably wouldn't mind, but it's just an example. All right. Excellent, Marisol. Number 5 to Janet, please.
Janet, do you miss eating at a special restaurant or other place?
Yes, I miss eating at any restaurant. I want to go outside. Doesn't matter.
Just in general, we just miss eating at restaurants in general. We just miss eating out, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Same here.
More.
Soon, Marisol. Sorry, soon, Janet. As a matter of fact, you can already go to restaurants. You can go to restaurants.
I don't feel safe.
Okay. Well, don't go to restaurants.
More.
I know. I wouldn't feel safe.
I think we need more time to feel safe.
I agree. Although yesterday I went to pick up some food at a restaurant. I had phoned in an order and I went to pick it up, and there were people lining up to sit inside and eat. It was, it was just as busy yesterday as I've ever seen it before the pandemic. So people are going back out. Not everybody was wearing masks, I must admit, and that kind of freaked me out a little bit. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going in there, unless everybody's wearing a mask. But yeah, I know what you mean. All right, Janet, number 6.
Marisol, what is the last activity that you suggest doing with your friends?
Suggested. This time we actually pronounce that ED. Okay, suggested.
Yes, suggested. Doing with your friends.
The last activity that I suggested, teacher, I need to say was.
Yes, you do.
Was planning birthday party.
Good. Excellent. Well done. Yeah,
it was before the
pandemic.
Yes. Don't judge me.
No, that's that's okay. That's okay. We're not here to judge. Oh, excellent. So the last activity I suggested doing was planning a birthday party. Excellent. Good.
Janet, do your friends always agree to do the same thing?
I don't know.
I think maybe that question is linked to number 6.
Okay.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Maybe because they agree for what? So what
I know, right? Agree to. I don't know.
When you suggest something?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe when you suggest something, do your friends agree to do it? Yeah.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes they agree to do it. Sometimes they don't. Yeah, okay. Number 8 to Marisol, please, Janet.
Okay, Marisol. What was the last thing that you asked your best friend to do? You asked or asked it?
Asked.
Asked.
The last thing that I asked my friend to do was take care of his daughter, because she doesn't believe in the pandemic.
How could, okay. She doesn't believe, she thinks that it's a hoax. She thinks it's made up.
No, she thinks that is something for the government and things like that.
Oh, she's a conspiracy theorist.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
She lives in Mexico. And she said that it is not true because she doesn't meet people that got sick for this pandemic.
Okay. She doesn't know of anyone who's got sick, who's gotten sick. Okay. So she thinks it's all a government conspiracy?
Yes.
For what purpose? This
to
is
try to control the people.
Okay.
Or make more rich companies. Because the small business are closed.
Right.
But the big companies are open.
The big companies are open. Yeah. So this is a plan that all the governments of the world, because obviously it's not just Mexico that's closing, that's basically going on lockdown. So this is this grand scheme to destroy the economy because we want to give an advantage to bigger businesses. So we're going to destroy the economy and destroy people's livelihoods just to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And spend a bunch of money that governments don't really have, which basically all the money that the government is putting into stimulus packages is making governments more poor, making them poorer. So they're going to do that just to make companies richer.
Yes.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever. But hey, if that's what people want to believe, that's fine. So the last thing you asked her to do was to take care of her daughter.
Yes, because her daughter is 4.
Uh-huh.
And is the only daughter that she has.
Uh-huh. I see. Yeah. Yeah. Let's hope she takes your advice.
I hope.
I hope so. Number 9.
Janet. Do you care to travel much these days?
Yes, I care to travel this season.
I don't care to travel much. So this structure, care to, we spoke about this last week. To care to do something is something that you really like doing or enjoy doing. Okay?
Okay, it's not like... Okay. Oh, yes. I care to travel.
Even with the virus?
Yes. Well, I would like to do, but I can't.
There you go. Yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? So maybe you care to travel generally, yeah, but I don't care to travel right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 10, please.
Okay, Marisol, has anyone ever demanded that you do something that you didn't want to do?
Has anyone ever demanded that you do something you didn't want to do?
Not recently.
Good. You have a nice boss.
Yes. I enjoy my job, and if we need to do something, it's not really that annoying me.
Sorry, say again, please.
It's annoying me. I like my job, so I feel good.
Good. Excellent. How is your boss, by the way? Have you heard?
Yes, I heard that he opened his eyes.
Oh,
but
good.
I'm not sure if for a long time or a short time. But he is not getting worse, but he is not getting better.
Oh, I see. Do you know if he's on a ventilator?
Yes, it is.
He is?
He is, yes.
Okay, but he's opened his eyes.
Yes.
That's a good sign.
Yes.
And if he's... Go ahead, sorry.
My manager told me Friday. It was because his family told with him, but I think by phone, I'm not sure.
Okay.
And in that time, he opened his eyes.
Oh, how wonderful. So he
Yes, I
was
know.
responding to his family.
Yes, I think because he heard
Uh-huh.
his family, but I feel good for him.
Of course. Well, that's a positive sign. So you have to
Yes.
continue thinking positively. You know, sometimes that happens with people who are in a coma.
Mm,
Sometimes people who are in a coma and they're not responding, their families and their loved ones, when they come to visit, they're encouraged to speak to them and, you know, talk to them and interact with them as normal, because sometimes it does make a difference.
yes.
Sometimes it helps, you know, helps, and they don't, you know, doctors don't know why, but it sometimes it makes a difference. It triggers a response and it can bring someone out of a coma. So maybe that's what happened and maybe that worked. So
Yes. So
fingers crossed, huh?
we we feel happy
Yeah.
for that because uh, we think or we want to think that
Mm-hmm.
it's a good sign.
Yes. Yes, indeed. You have to think that. You have to think it's a good sign.
Yes. Thanks
Yeah.
for asking, teacher.
Oh, that's okay. When you talked about your boss, I remembered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 11, right?
Number 11.
Janet, what are a couple of things that you would like to learn how to do?
A couple of things I want to learn. I don't know. Maybe new, I would like to learn new programs for my job.
Mm-hmm. Computer programs?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Programs and training programs.
Mm-hmm. Good.
How I do for the website and for the company web page.
Web page. Uh-huh. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for the company website. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, Marisol, are you planning to go anywhere special for your next vacation?
No, I am not planning to go anywhere for my next vacation.
Oh.
I was planning before the pandemic, but
Uh-huh.
that's not possible.
No, not now, but you know, it's this pandemic isn't going to last forever. You can plan for
Yes.
after it passes, or after the most dangerous part is past. Yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to last forever. I hope not.
No.
We can't stay locked down forever. Oh, all right. Well done, guys. Any questions? So let's just, I don't know if we've ever been through this before, but let's just let's just go over when we pronounce this ed in the past tense of a verb and when we don't pronounce it. Okay, very very quickly. Wherever your ed, I'm going to put this in the chat box. So wherever your ed follows a d or a t, you pronounce it as ed. Okay? You pronounce it as a separate syllable or a separate sound. So where it follows a D or where it follows a T. This can be a little confusing because sometimes our ED is pronounced, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's pronounced like an id, sometimes it's pronounced like a d, sometimes it's pronounced like a t, okay? But certainly when it's, we pronounce it as an id or an ed when it's after a T or when it's after a D. Okay. So here, in number 3, has your boss mentioned? It comes after an N, so it's not pronounced as a separate syllable. However, in number 6, what is the last activity that you suggested? It comes after a T, so it's pronounced as a separate syllable, as ED. Number 10, has anyone ever demanded that you do something? Yeah. It's pronounced as a separate syllable. However, number 8, what was the last thing that you asked? Comes after a K, so it's not pronounced as a separate syllable. In fact, here it's pronounced like a T. Asked. Okay, so it's really only after a T or a D that you pronounce it separately as an id or an ed. So keep that handy for reference. Okay, that's a little pronunciation tip there. Any questions?
No.
Okie dokie. All right. So let's continue on with our proverbs and our sayings. Yeah. Saying is a dicho. Here are some common sayings we use in the United States. What do you think these mean? Number 1. Who wants to read that? Marisol?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, 2, and 3, or just 1?
Just 1.
Just 1? Okay. You never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Mm-hmm. What do you think that means? Either or both of you, Janet and Marisol.
Okay.
I heard then when I say the first impression is the most important.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Janet, what do you think it means?
Yes, the first impression is the most important. So no matter what you continue see, you keep in your mind the first thing.
Say again, please. That last part I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter if continue see the person or the things, you keep in your mind the first thing.
Yeah.
Impression.
Yes, indeed. It kind of almost, you know, almost doesn't matter what you do the second or third or fourth time. It's that first impression that counts and nothing else counts after that. It's a little bit kind of worrying, isn't it? You know, if you don't make a good first impression the first time, it's pointless, you know, but you know, I don't think it's that drastic. I think what you both said is absolutely right. That first impression is the most important, and you have to make sure that you don't waste it. Excellent. Good. Number 2. Janet, would you like to read that one?
Yes. Strangers are used friends you haven't met yet.
You haven't met.
Met.
Yet. Strangers are just friends you haven't met yet. What does that mean?
That's true.
It is true, isn't it? It is true.
We meet people in a whole life. For example, me now, I don't meet all the people I'm going to have in my life.
Yeah. So you haven't met them yet, all the people that you're going to know.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's another way of saying that friends, all our friends were strangers at one point, right?
Yes.
And that even though someone might be a stranger, you never know whether you're going to become friends with them. It's pretty profound.
Yes.
Pretty profound. It makes you think, doesn't it? That someone that you don't know could one day become a very good friend. Yeah. Or they could one day just be a friend. You never know. You just never know.
What is the word for people that you know, but they aren't your friends? Just
They're
only
called
you.
acquaintances. Let me put that in the chat box. It's
Yes,
a long
please.
word. Acquaintance, and it's, you know, it's one of these words that is not like, I can't really think of any word in Spanish that is like.
In Spanish is conocidos.
A conocido. Un conocido. Uh-huh. So someone you've met, someone you know, but you're not friends with them. Yeah. So this is just an acquaintance.
Weird word.
It's a weird word, isn't it? Yeah. It's a weird word. It's probably from Greek or something, or Old French, or.
Can you say it again, teacher, please?
Pardon me?
Can you say again the word?
Acquaintance.
Acquaintance. Acquaintance.
Mm-hmm. And finally, number 3, Marisol.
You're never too old to learn.
We know what that means, don't we?
Yes.
Literally what it says. You're always capable of learning new things. It doesn't matter how old you are. And, you know, last week, Carlos was talking about people who always say, oh, I'm too old to learn English.
English is not for me.
English is not for me. I'm too old. You're never too old to learn.
Why you watch English news?
Yeah, exactly. Why do you watch English news?
I remember he said that.
Exactly. And, you know, Janet, you mentioned learning computer software, you know, for your company's website.
Yes.
And, you know, a lot of people, and, you know, I'm not saying by any means that you're old, okay? Please don't misinterpret me. But there are people who associate new computer programs or new software with millennials, yeah? Young people. Oh, that's for young people. Young people are much better at computer stuff. And, well, how would people know if they don't try to learn? You know, just because you're a certain age doesn't mean you can't learn new software. Sometimes you have to learn new software for your job, right, Janet?
Yes.
Sometimes you don't have a choice. If you want to keep your job, you have to learn new software. And it's not necessarily always easy, but you have to do it. You can't say to your boss, oh, I can't do that, boss. I'm too old. Let one of the young people do it.
No, we have to do it.
You can't do it. Otherwise, your boss would say, okay, bye. Here's your check. And, you know, there's 2 weeks notice. Have a nice life. I'll let one of the young people take your job. You know, you can't do that. You don't have that luxury. So you're never too old to learn. Doesn't matter what it is. So which of these 3 do you like? Janet, which of these 3 is your favorite?
The third.
Number 3. Yeah, good. What about you, Marisol?
Same.
The same. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Do you guys have a favorite proverb or a favorite saying? What's your favorite this week? Because pretty much every week we're going to ask this question.
I put one in my homework.
Yeah.
It says, don't cross a bridge until you come to it.
And what does that mean, Marisol?
It's the don't worry for the things that aren't for things that haven't happened yet.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. That's a good one. There's a kind of more modern way of saying that in English as well. And it's something that you can say to someone if they look worried or if they look anxious. Yeah. You might hear someone say to you, don't worry. It might never happen.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put that in the chat box. Don't worry, it might never happen. Whatever it is that you're worrying about might never actually happen. And then you've wasted all that time worrying about it. Yeah. And you have no way of knowing whether it's going to happen or not because you can't see the future. So what's the point of worrying about it? Yeah. So don't cross the bridge until you come to it. Yeah, I like that one. What about you, Janet? Do you have a favorite one? Anything that your mom or your grandma used to say to you?
I'm thinking.
That you always thought, oh, that's nonsense. I have no idea what that means. And then as you get older, you understand what it means.
It's in Spanish, but I don't know if I can translate it.
Oh, that's okay. We'll help you.
We can cover the sun with one finger.
Oh, that sounds really
deep.
We can or can't?
We can't.
We can't cover the sun with one finger.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think I've heard that one, and I don't even know if there's an English equivalent. Do you know what it means, Janet?
Dice, no podemos tapar el sol con un dedo.
That's interesting. And what do you think it means?
Like we can hide the things, always the truth come up.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's a cool one. So yeah, we don't have an equivalent of that in English, I'm afraid. You can't hide the sun with one finger. It sounds very biblical.
It's like, yeah, it's like when you outside, you can cover with your finger, right?
Yeah, because you can just put your finger up and it looks as if you're covering the sun. Yeah.
But it's like a figure eight. So, but you don't do it.
Yeah. It's not actually possible to block it out. You can't block the sunshine out just by putting your finger up in front of the sun. I like that one. Yeah. So whatever you might do will always come. Anything that you do will always come to light. Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. Because the sun shines its light on everything.
Yeah.
I like that one. Cool. All right. We have a similar one in my country. This is an American one. This is very specific to my country. I'll put it in the chat box and you guys tell me what you think of it. Okay?
Okay.
Can you see that in the chat?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, Marisol, do you want to read that?
Yes. Give me 1 second, teacher.
Sure.
Yeah. You can hide and buy land, but you can hide and buy land, but you can't hide and work it.
Working.
So to work the land in this context means to plow it. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
To plant seeds and grow things. Yeah?
Yes.
What do you think that means?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, teacher, but it's something that you can do the things, but you are making a lot of sounds. You can hide it.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. Because you think when you plow the land that it's gonna be noisy.
Yeah, something you're working on it.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure.
No, that's fine. It's okay. That's fine. It's part of figuring it out. So that's part of the meaning. Uh-huh. You're on the right track. What do you think, Janet, that means?
Like you can hide, you do something, but you can hide to continue doing.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't know, maybe somebody lie. He continue lying to cover the first lie.
Uh-huh.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. You're also on the right track. Yeah. So this is to do with doing this has to do with doing things in secret, yeah, or being deceitful or deceptive about things. Okay. So it basically means that you can do something in secret, but that secret will eventually come out. So it's similar to not being able to put your finger over the sun, because everything you do will eventually come out. Everyone will eventually know, yeah, what you've done. So, it's like, for example, you might have a secret love child somewhere, yeah? You might have an affair with someone, but say that person has a child for you, that eventually everybody's gonna know, hey, you've got a child with that person. So people will know what you've done, okay? So you might have had a secret affair, but eventually it will come out. And of course, it's not just necessarily applicable to affairs. It can be anything. It could be anything, like literally a land transaction. You might buy a house in secret, or you might buy some land in secret, but when you start living in the house, or when you start building a house on the land, everyone will know, so it will no longer be a secret. Yeah. So it's one of these kind of it's one of these old-fashioned proverbs that your mom or your grandma might have said in the past, and you're like, what are you talking about? But you don't realize it until you're older, what it means.
I remember other similar.
Yeah.
Lies have short legs. I'm not sure.
Lies have short legs.
In Spanish, it's like that.
Lies have short legs.
Yes.
So what does that mean? They can't run very far or they can't run very fast?
No, it's like you said before, when you're lying for something, the truth come up.
Comes out eventually.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So it might be that lies can't travel very far or very fast, so they won't get you anywhere. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. Lies will eventually come out, especially if you have to lie, maybe tell a second lie to cover up the first, and then tell a third lie to cover up the first and the second. You have to keep lying to cover up all your previous lies. Absolutely right. So don't lie, guys.
No.
Don't lie. All right. Okie dokie. Would you guys like to take a break here for a bathroom?
Yes.
Ready? So,
fine.
bathroom?
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. 5 minutes bathroom break. Okay.
Okay.
See you
Sounds
in 5.
weird. Bathroom break.
Bathroom break. Yeah. See you in 5.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Welcome back, both of you. Let's press on. Let's have a little chat about conversation etiquette. We've got a bit of a reading here. Who wants to start?
Okay.
Me.
Thank you, Marisol. Go right ahead.
When conversing with others, there are some things that you can do to make them feel comfortable or uncomfortable. Let's look 2 ways to help people feel comfortable: nonverbal, verbal.
Excellent. Well done. Yeah, that should read, let's look at. Okay, the word at is missing. It's not correct to say, let's look 2 ways. Yeah, looking 2 ways means something completely different. It means looking left and right. All right. So let's look at 2 ways to help people feel comfortable. So nonverbal and verbal. Good. So here you have some nonverbal communication cues. Okay, nonverbal communication, nonverbal ways of communicating. Okay, so these are broken down into positive and negative, what we call cues. Okay. On the positive side, we have a smile and we have eye contact. Okay, so smiling at someone and making eye contact with them are 2 positive things that you can do when you're talking to people. And by eye contact, we don't mean staring the person in the face, but we do mean looking them in the eye and, making sure that we make them feel that we're listening to them, yeah, by looking at them in the eye. In terms of negative cues, we've got frowning. Does everyone know what frowning means?
I don't know.
No?
No.
It's fruncir.
Okay.
Yeah, so to make a sad or angry face is to frown, yeah? So the girl on the right, she's frowning. She's not smiling and she looks kind of angry. Okay, that's to frown, to look angry. Or to look away. To look away is a negative verbal cue. Okay. What you can also do is to nod your head. Yeah. So nodding your head is when you're trying to say yes or I agree with your head. Shaking your head, that's normally from side to side. Nodding your head is up and down. That means yes. Shaking your head from side to side generally means no. Okay? Or I disagree. Okay. So here we've got those were our nonverbal cues, things that you do without saying, okay? These are our verbal cues. These are things that you can say to make the person feel that you are engaged in the conversation, okay? So Janet, would you like to read these?
Yes. Verbal.
Just read the whole list.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay, agree. Good idea. I'm really enjoying this conversation. Cool. No way. Really?
Some of them sound a little bit, you know, like dramatic, but that's okay. I'm really enjoying this conversation. I've never really thought of telling someone that, but yeah, you can tell someone that you're really enjoying talking to them while you're still talking to them, you know? So these are just some ideas as to how to make the person feel that you're enjoying their conversation. All right, so we're gonna practice. So each of you will talk about your weekend. I know it's not finished yet, but your weekend so far. And the other person can use some of these verbal communication cues. Unfortunately, we're not together physically, and I can't even see you guys on video. But you can use these verbal cues. We won't be able to use nonverbal cues. Nonverbal cues tend to go hand in hand with seeing the person face to face. Yeah, we can't see each other face to face. So we'll have to rely on verbal communication cues, okay? So you'll each talk about your weekend and the other person will try to use some of these verbal communication cues during the conversation, okay? So who wants to start? Who wants to talk about their weekend so far? Or maybe you can talk about your week at work if you wish. Okay?
Okay.
Janet, would you like to start?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So for the week?
Yeah, you can talk about your week at work or your week so far. You can talk about.
Okay, well, last week at work, well, we can see, I don't know, all the employers only we work a few hours. We don't work the full schedule for this season, for these things happen. Usually I see my coworkers 3 days in the week, but a few.
Janet, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm having a really hard time hearing you. I don't know if it's the same for you, Marisol. Can you hear Janet okay?
Yes, I can hear. Okay.
Okay. I'm having problems hearing everybody this morning. It might just be that I'm getting old, I'm going deaf, or it might be my computer. I don't know.
The computer teacher.
There, let's say that. Let's say it's a computer. So, okay, sorry, Janet, go ahead.
Okay, last week on my work, we had the decision to give my co-workers and employers less hours because the business is not support the regular hours for each employers. But the decision we take is give up less hours and they can get the benefits like unemployment. Now the unemployment give the stimulus and they get the stimulus is more important. They get the stimulus instead of the hours. That's why we share the days with employers. Like one employer only work 2 days for 4 hours and she can get the benefits instead of, because anyway, she don't get the full check. So that's the hard decision. We take it and we make schedules. We can working on that.
Okay.
That's interesting.
So when you say the stimulus, Janet, do you mean the payroll protection stimulus?
I don't know what's the name, but the government give this, they say stimulus.
To the business?
For the unemployment people.
Ah, for unemployed people.
Yeah, they get another amount.
Oh, you mean the $1,200?
No.
When you apply for benefits because you don't have work.
Ah.
Yes. So the unemployment give is dependent employment how much or how amount he made.
Okay.
The employer is different. Some employees can work 4 days for 4 hours.
Right.
Their employers 2 days for 4 hours or 5 hours. They don't get more. If they don't get more than the unemployment give, they can get the unemployment, the payment for us, and the stimulus for the government.
I see. Okay. So you can still have some hours of work and get unemployment benefit as well.
Yes.
Right. So you can get a certain number of hours at work. I'm assuming a maximum number of hours, and then you can still get unemployment benefit as well.
Yeah, because it's better for the employees, because anyway they can work the full time.
Okay. So you get the stimulus from the government, and then you also get your pay.
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting.
Well, we decide that because the employers, they don't work the 40 hours.
Of course.
Anyway, they have the same bills and same payments. So it's hard for the management part because cover more the employer's schedule. They can only work a few
hours. So you guys have to, so management has to figure out the best schedule to give each employee a good number of hours without actually affecting them getting their stimulus.
And yes, and it's hard for the company too.
Of course.
The unit, because the unit open the same hours. So.
Of course, and you still need to provide the same services.
Yes.
With fewer hours that the employees are working.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. So it's like a juggling act.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's tough. That's tough. So you guys are figuring that out this week.
Yes, every week is different.
Okay. So every week you have to change it.
Yes.
Well, that's a pain in the butt. Because you can't just have one schedule for the rest of, for the rest of the period. Yeah. That's a lot more work for you guys then, Janet?
Some days.
Some days, It's a hassle, right?
Yes.
Are you still going into work, or do you work remotely? Do you work from home?
No, I have to go. I'm still going to work.
You're still going to work. And
yeah, so, but the same thing, the management separates the days. One full day the chef, another full day the manager, another full day me, and we cover that little spaces. The people.
Okay, so you guys are rotating.
Yeah.
And your hours have been cut as well. You personally, have your hours been cut as well?
Yeah, sometimes. Like last week, I cut hours because we have enough. But last 2 weeks, no, I didn't.
Okay.
Full time.
So you were working your 40 hours.
Yeah, but I do it for the employers, for help the employers.
Of course. Yeah. This is this pandemic has opened up every week there's a can of worms being opened up by this pandemic, It's made everything so complicated.
Yes.
And so, well, stressful, really. It has to be stressful.
It is because it's hard in the job because in my job is only pilots.
Of course.
People. And sometimes we have 200. And some days we don't have like a 50.
Uh-huh.
So we don't know. We don't know when this is done and we can continue work the same before. But
Yeah, of course. And of course, airlines have been cutting staff and they've been cutting their services because they have suffered economically as well, the airlines.
yes, and I affect too much my job, my specific job is like events. I don't have nothing. So I have to help to the cafe or the kitchen or something like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so there's just no training events at the moment.
Nope.
No.
But that's good that you don't have your specific job, but you have that choice to help to others to get some hours.
Yeah, that's good because I have my job. So I continue to, sometimes I don't do nothing.
Sometimes there's nothing to do.
Yes, it's fine. Some days I have to go only 4 hours. And that's nice too.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's worrying for me. Like
of course it is. Of course
what
it is.
happened.
Especially, you still have your bills to pay.
Yes, the same thing.
Everyone still has their same bills, their same expenses. You know, rent doesn't disappear because of a pandemic, or a mortgage doesn't disappear, you know. So if your hours are not regular, you always worry about not getting enough pay. Yep, it's all very worrisome. What about you, Marisol?
About my job or my weekend?
It's completely up to you which you want to talk about.
Okay.
You can talk about your weekend if you wish.
Okay, my weekend. On Friday, I got off of work at 4:30, I think. And I came at my house, so I didn't do anything, just relax. And my husband came late because he helped his brother because he was working in his house doing work for the yard. And my brother-in-law called me at 8 p.m. For invite me to eat out.
To invite me.
To invite me
to eat out.
To eat out. But I was on my bed.
You were in your bed. In your bed. You were in bed already.
Yeah.
At 8 o'clock, Marisol? Oh my gosh.
Yes, because I was so tired.
Okay.
And my husband came at 9. And yesterday, my brother-in-law called us because he had a barbecue.
Nice.
For give thanks for every guy that helped the day before.
Okay.
And we went to eat at his house. But we came before 8 because we received a notice about the Cueful, something like that. It's CUEFUL, I think. It's about the order to stay home again. Or let me see if I can find it.
I have never heard that word, cueful.
I think it's not that word.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. It's CURFEW.
Curfew.
Curfew, yes. I'm sorry. For the manifestants in the downtown.
The protesters.
Yes.
There was a curfew.
Did you receive the notice?
I didn't receive anything.
It was for Janet. Did you receive it?
I did. Like a alert on my phone.
Yes.
Like we have.
Yeah, I got it. I just got a new phone and I'm not getting alerts.
Yeah, we can go
home.
So there was a curfew in place because of the marches that were going on downtown?
Yes, because it was really bad. Protesters in the downtown, and Michael Hancock.
The mayor.
The mayor. Said that we need to stay
at home.
At home, 8 to 5 a.m.
Okay, I did not realize
until
that.
Monday.
Just as well, I didn't go anywhere last night.
Yeah, and we stayed home.
So that was a curfew. A curfew.
Yes,
have you heard this word before?
Really worse.
Sorry?
No, I spelled really bad.
What about the curfew?
Yes, I say the other letters.
Yeah, that's a serious situation. Yeah, if you know that if the mayor is imposing a curfew, that things are really bad. Well, I mean, we've got a semi-curfew really with the pandemic because of this safer at home order. It's not really a curfew, but it's a kind of underlying curfew that really and truly you shouldn't be going too far from home at all hours of the day anyway. But yeah, I didn't realize that the protests had gotten that bad, that they needed to impose a curfew. I didn't get an alert on my phone. Is everybody aware what a curfew is?
Yes.
Are you happy with what a curfew is? Janet, are you happy with what a curfew is?
From yesterday or the word?
Like generally, the word. Yeah, the word.
Okay, yes.
Excellent. Okay, yeah. It's not something that we normally have in the United States. It's unless, of course, you're a teenager. Teenagers tend to have curfews imposed by the city. Obviously, you can have a curfew imposed by your parents, but a lot of cities actually have curfews in place for minor children. They're not allowed to be out without adults after a certain time of the day. I think in Denver and Aurora, it's like 8 o'clock. Minor kids aren't allowed to be out by themselves or, with each other. So it's something to be aware of if you have kids that are minors. I think it's under the age of 18. If they're hanging out with their friends, there are certain cities, I'm pretty sure Denver and Aurora have curfews for kids that are out without adults. But yeah, for adults, it's not common to have a curfew. So there you have it. That's a bit worrisome. So was there a lot of violence at the protests, at the march?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, they stole stores.
So they stole from stores.
They stole from stores.
So Another word for that is to loot. Yeah?
Loot?
So they looted stores. And that word is specifically for that kind of situation where people are using, I guess, it's normally during periods of civil unrest where people take the opportunity to steal or rob from stores, gas stations, businesses generally. Sometimes people even loot banks during periods of civil unrest. So they were looting.
Yes.
I spelled stores wrong. I'm sorry.
Broken windows.
Uh-huh.
I think it was fire in the downtown yesterday.
There was fire.
Yes.
So they set things on fire as well. That's ridiculous. I didn't realize it was that bad. Absolutely ridiculous. There's no excuse for that. And, you know, it kind of makes it, the original reason for which they were protesting, it belittles that reason. Yeah. And it makes it, it's kind of insulting to the original reason, which was a good reason. The reason they were protesting originally because of, the murder of an African American for no good reason by the police. That's a reason to have demonstrations, especially if you want the police officers to be brought to justice. But there's no excuse for violence and looting and setting things on fire, and that's not the way to get things done. And nobody's going to take you seriously if you do that. They're just going to think that you're a criminal and that you're a thug if you do that kind of thing, So yes. That's a real shame.
I heard that Protestants closed the I-225.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And the 225 isn't anywhere near downtown.
They were in that side.
So they came all the way down to the 225?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Oh my word. That's a bit close.
Really bad.
That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. I knew that things were really bad in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, where all the protests started, but having this kind of violence basically means people are there are people, maybe it's a minority, a violent or a criminal minority element within the protests that are causing all this trouble. Or it could simply mean that people are looking for an excuse to break the law,
Yes, I know.
Which is...
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not like genuine protesters, genuine marchers, and people who genuinely want to see justice aren't going to behave like that, So I think it's a criminal element that's infiltrating these protests.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you guys, I'm going to rest my voice for a little bit. You guys are going to have this conversation with each other. Okay. So you guys are going to ask each other these questions.
Teacher, I have a question really quickly.
Oh, sure.
You said when Janet was saying about his weekend, you say
her weekend.
Mm-hmm. Juggling act. What does that mean?
A juggling act is when you're trying to do lots of different things. Have you ever seen at a circus or a fair a juggler, someone that throws balls or
yes.
Sometimes they use Skittles from bowling lanes, yeah, up in the air, without dropping them. So they throw a lot of them up in the air and they catch them all, yeah?
Yes.
So that's a juggling act.
Oh,
yeah.
Hacer malabares.
Sorry?
Hacer malabares.
I'm not sure what it is in Spanish, to be honest with you. Maybe that's it.
Sí. Malabarear, algo así.
Okay. I couldn't tell you what it is in Spanish. I'm sorry. But yeah, when you're trying to do lots of different things at once, without failing at any of them, you know, you're trying to multitask, I guess is another word. Trying to balance lots of different, very important and maybe quite sensitive tasks at the same time. That's a juggling act. Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't want to drop any of them. If you're juggling balls, you don't want to drop any of them because that's a failure. So you're trying to keep a lot of balls in the air without dropping any of them. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
All right. No problem. All right, guys. So you guys can ask each other these questions. I'll stay out of it.
Okay. Janet, what do you like to do outdoors?
I like to do plant or take care of my garden. So, do you ever hike, jog, bike, or skate on the weekend? Where?
Yes, I do. I like to hike in the mountains, or I like to bike, but in the neighborhood. Janet, how do you like to spend your free time?
I like to read a book or clean my house. I don't know. Yep. Okay, Marisol, what interests you?
That is something that
You like?
I like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a very general question about what kinds of things are you interested in? Are you interested in politics? Are you interested in sport? Are you interested in outdoor activities? You know, it's just very general.
Okay. I interest in visiting different places. And recently I interested in cooking different foods than the common foods that I cook. Or do some desserts or things like that to spend time. Janet, do you have a hobby?
Yes, my hobby is read books. Marisol, how is the oldest member of your family? Who's the youngest?
My oldest member in my family is my dad, and the youngest is my sister. How long have you been studying English? At which schools?
Okay, hello. 18 years. When I come here, I'm gonna start to learn study English, and it's almost the same language. School is in Colorado Avenue, but I stop and I come back to the classes and the community college of Aurora, but I'm stop. And now I'm gonna start with the language school. About how many months? 7 months, I think so.
You've been with the language school longer than that, Janet.
More than 7 months?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I think so.
Well, the first 6 months now, I don't know. I'm gonna start.
So did you used to study with the language school and then you stopped and then came back?
In another school, the name is the language school.
Ah, it was a different language school.
A different language school in Colorado Avenue.
Oh, okay. I have a notion, Janet, that you've been with this language school for for a couple of years.
No, this is the first time in this school.
But it's been more than 7 months, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, I lose that count.
Yeah, I know. Time goes fast when you're having fun. Oh, sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
Okay. Marisol, where do you usually speak English? Why?
I usually speak English in the store or in my job, but not a lot because I don't have many time to talk with my coworkers, or when I go to the store, it's only when I'm going to pay. Janet, what are some things that you made you frown?
The chef. The chef in my job.
The chef? What is that?
The chef.
The chef.
Oh, the chef. Oh, okay.
The crazy chef.
The chef.
Janet, is he French?
Is he what?
Is he French?
No, he's Hispanic, but he don't like. It's now.
He doesn't like to cook.
I want to say something nice, but
Is he a good chef?
He's not.
Okay.
Not. Honestly,
You can't even say that he can cook well.
I never see him cook.
So what does he do if he doesn't cook?
That's the problem we have with them.
A chef that doesn't cook is definitely a problem.
Yes, I don't know.
So he has
in the cashier and he put the cashier to the grill or something. And I said, what?
So he makes other people cook.
Yes.
Does he give them guidance and direction, and does he help them?
Well, the company has the recipes. So if he's not be there, I can follow the recipes.
Ah, okay.
I print the recipe and the recipes say step by step and what you need and how much you need for how many.
Okay, so anybody could do it.
Yes. Just he pulls for the system, the recipes, and that's all. Sometimes I see he give advice, so like instead of put this, use this, the condiments or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Never cook.
A chef that never cooks.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't laugh, but that's really funny. A chef that doesn't cook.
Yeah.
He just spends all his time trying to avoid cooking.
And he's Hispanic, but he don't like to hear he's Hispanic.
Oh, he does. Oh, he has an issue with it?
I think so. I think so, because he always is Arabic, Greek, Italian, another nationality instead of Hispanic.
Oh,
Many nationalities he has.
He's having an identity crisis. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
He's in denial.
Yes.
The reason I asked you if he was French was because, you know, there is this stereotype of the crazy French chef who is always throwing tantrums and he's always saying, oh, I'm too good for this. And I'm, you know, because he thinks his talents are wasted wherever he is, you know. So every time you see a chef on TV that's throwing tantrum and throwing knives and losing his temper, he's always French. I don't know why.
And yelling at people.
Yeah, yelling at people. Yeah. Yeah, doing a Gordon Ramsay. Only Gordon Ramsay isn't French, but you know, he behaves like a French chef. All right, sorry, continue.
Marisol, do you have a pet? What kind and what is its name?
I don't have a pet. No. Janet, tell me 3 things that you like about where you live.
Where I live here in Denver or in my area, my home area?
Could be either.
Okay. In Denver, I like the weather. I like that.
Really?
Mother, well, yeah. I don't like to drive in the snow. I like the snow. I like the cool. I like, I don't know. And my living area is quiet. But it's not safety. I don't know what else.
Did you say it's safe or it isn't?
Safe.
It's safe.
Well, for me, I don't know, because you know they broke in my home like 3 months ago.
Oh, really?
Yes. I mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
But yes, 2 days ago, I see my front door. Someone's tried to open the door because they broke the wood.
Oh my word. Oh my word.
I had cameras and I have the alarm system, but they try. So I don't know who. I have to check when or what they try to open the door.
Where do you live, Janet?
In Thornton, in Federal Heights.
Oh, I don't know where that is.
Close to Thornton.
Close to Thornton.
Thornton.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's the same person.
Okay.
Him. I don't know. But I don't feel safe.
No, understood. Yeah, you probably need to get you say you already have an alarm system and you already have video cameras.
Yes.
Do you have a security light?
Yes, the cameras has a security light. They on when it's like a motion sensor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, motion sensor. Maybe you should think about getting a dog.
I haven't.
You've already got a dog?
You need a bigger dog.
Not a Chihuahua. I was thinking of maybe something a little bit less cuddly, a little bit more vicious. A Chihuahua isn't gonna cut it as a guard dog.
Yeah, amen.
And yeah, or maybe just get a recording of a dog barking. Yeah.
Yes.
Or maybe put a sign up in your front on your front door saying beware of the vicious dog or something like that.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see.
Were your son or your daughter at home when that happened?
I don't know. I don't know what time, what happened. You say I know that last 2 days ago and when I come in.
Yeah,
Because
so you just noticed it.
I
You
don't
just
have,
noticed it after it happened.
yes. I don't have the key lock. I have the password lock.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
Okay. Well, the good thing is that they didn't get it. So
Mhm.
at least you know your front door is strong and you know, but it's still worrying, obviously. It's very worrying.
Yes. It is.
Yeah, we've had in my neighborhood, we have had a lot of people trying to break into vehicles and stealing stuff out of vehicles. They've been, you know, going into people's garages and um, there's always opportunistic burglars trying to break into homes around here. So I think it's happening everywhere, Janet. I don't think it really matters at the moment what neighborhood you live in. You're always going to have, and you know, this is a time as well with the pandemic that there's a lot of very um, restless people. Yeah, people who don't really have a lot else to do. Maybe there's people that have lost their jobs and they're instead of looking for gainful employment, they're looking to commit crimes, you know? So
But I think it's the same person. I think it's the same person that broke my homes like 3 weeks, 3 months ago.
you think they're trying to get in again?
Yes, I think so because yeah, who else? Mm-hmm.
Well,
Probably you need to put microphones on your cameras or something like that.
They have. So they
they've
don't.
already got those. Well, the good thing is, Janet, if it's the same person that tried, if they tried once and they got in, and then they tried again and they didn't, hopefully that's it. They will stop now.
To do that. I hope.
Hopefully, yeah. But you should let the police know. You should let the police know that another attempt was made to break in because they need to know.
Yes.
Did you make a police report the first time?
Oh yes. I
Uh-huh.
have the insurance report.
Oh, okay.
He stole $23,000 in my home.
Oh my
In a
goodness.
couple minutes, like in 30 minutes maybe.
Wow. And but you're insured, right?
Yeah, but my insurance, but they don't cover everything.
No, I know they don't cover everything, but you know,
The
hopefully you'll be able to get some
I,
compensation.
yeah, the more things I heard is I have my mom's jewelry
Uh-huh.
and my mom's bed.
Oh.
So yeah, that things I can recover.
Of course. And you know, at the end of the day, it's not necessarily it's not about the things.
It's
It's not
about
about the material things. It's about that feeling of being violated. You feel as if you've been violated. You feel as if you've been um, invaded. You don't feel safe anymore. And you think, well, you know, that's supposed to be your place of safety, for you and your kids. And if someone has kind of, you know, violated that safety, it makes you feel as if your sense of security has been robbed from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't feel safe in your own home, where can you feel safe, you know?
Yes.
I understand. Yeah, I've been burgled before. It's not a nice feeling at all. So
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they can catch who did it. If the police are looking, hopefully they can find the person. But if there was a second attempt to break in, you need to let the police know.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, Marisol, tell me 3 things that you don't like about where you live.
Sorry. My bad.
There are a lot of shootings.
Mm. Oh
Yes. I live in Nonverbal.
I figured.
Yeah. But thanks God, nothing has happened at my house or any familiar or friends. And I don't like some neighbors.
Really, Marisol, you surprised me.
No, it's because they're special. I think they live. They came after us, but they don't speak with anybody. They make a lot of noise. I don't like it. They're African Americans, and I don't believe that all African Americans are the same way. But these neighbors are really special. I think
they're bad examples.
Yes, they're with bad attitude. I think they're problematic persons.
Yeah.
Because I have good relationship. Or friendship.
Well, it depends.
With my neighbors. With the other neighbors.
I think probably good relationships.
Relationship with the others, but with these especially neighbors.
Yeah, no. They're special.
Yes. And one more thing. I think that's all, teacher.
Well, that's actually really good for Montbello. Don't tell anybody I said that. If you can't think of 3 things that you don't like, that's pretty good for Montbello.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
Yes, I think that's all.
That's good. That's good. Keep it at 2. Yeah, that's good.
Janet, what are your goals for this year and next year?
For this year and next year. I don't know, my goals. Okay, that cruise. My kids wants to go to Europe. Europe?
Europe?
Europe? Europe?
Europe?
Europe.
What part?
Europa, Europe.
Europe, you would say Europe.
So maybe one of my goals is get the travel.
Nice. To take your kids to Europe.
Which country?
And sorry, my kids is here.
Yeah, we can kind of hear him.
Raise my kids.
Really, Janet?
We thought it was the TV.
My kids.
Does he want some attention? Is it a he or a she, Janet? He wants some attention.
Yes.
All right. You give him some attention. That's okay. All right, guys. Good. Any questions there?
No.
So there's a couple of things that we need to be careful of. In number 4, what interests you? Now, there's 2 ways of replying to that. You can say, for example, if you like traveling, okay? Or if you like, Marisol, I think you like hiking, right? You can say hiking interests me, or travel or traveling interests me. That's one way of saying it, keeping the subject of the verb to be the thing that interests you, okay? Now you can also flip it around the other way and say, I am interested in, and then you become the subject and the thing that you're interested in becomes the object. And you have to be careful here because you need to make sure you use the verb to be plus interested plus in. And we need all 3 of those elements in order for this structure to work, okay? So,
I am interested in hiking.
There you go. I am interested in hiking, okay? So you have your 2 choices. Hiking interests me, and you have to make sure to put that 3rd person S onto hiking because it is a thing. It's an it, okay?
And I need to put hiking in gerund on both sentences?
Yes, you do. You cannot say to hike. Yeah.
Oh.
To hike interests me. That's a Spanish construct. Hiking interests me. That's an English construct. Okay?
Okay.
So be careful there when you're using interested. Interested, you have to be interested in something. And you have to make sure that all 3 of those elements are there in that construction. Another way of saying all this, of course, is I think number 5 when you're talking about having a hobby. My hobby is plus the gerund. Okay? My hobby is reading. My hobby is hiking. My hobby is swimming. My hobby is going to the movies. Yeah? So it's my hobby is plus the gerund. Okay, be careful with that. It's in the chat. And just one other very small point. I don't have, you can say much time or a lot of time, okay? But time is uncountable, so you can't use the word many with time. So I don't have much time with my friends, or I don't have a lot of time with my friends. Okay?
Okay.
All right, let's look at some famous quotations. Who wants to read this one? Janet, are you back?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I am walking with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
William Shakespeare.
Yeah, William Shakespeare. He was a very, very famous writer back in the day, 200 or 300, well, Actually, it's more than that now, like over 400, nearly 500 years ago. From the 1500s. Sorry?
Romeo y Julieta.
There you go. Well, that is very impressive. That's very impressive. Yes, he did write Romeo and Juliet. Yes, indeed. Plus a host of other plays. So he said, I'm wealthy in my friends. What do you think that means? Any ideas from anybody? I am wealthy. What does the word wealthy mean?
I have a problem there.
That's okay. Don't worry. So the word wealthy is very, not just rich, right? But very, very, very rich. So who do we know that's rich? Maybe Donald Trump. Well, he says he is. No one knows for sure that he's rich because we haven't seen his tax returns. But he claims to be rich. Okay. So someone like Donald Trump might be rich. Bill Gates. Have you heard of Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. He's wealthy. Okay. He's not just rich. He is beyond rich. Okay. Who else is wealthy? Say Carlos Slim is rich. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of Jeff Bezos?
No.
Google him. He's the CEO of Amazon.
Oh.
He's wealthy.
Yes, he's.
he's not rich. He's wealthy. Okay. So wealthy is when you're very, 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 very rich. So someone who's wealthy in their friends, what do you think that means? I am very, very rich in my friends.
But wealthy only means money? About the money?
Well, there you go. Well, Shakespeare is using it here to talk about friends, right? He's not talking about money. He's talking about friends. So generally, yeah, wealthy means normally people associate it with money, but here he's associating it with friendships. Yeah.
So that means like I'm lucky person with my friends.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. I've got a lot of friends. And it gives the impression that it's not just the number of friends, but also the quality of friends that he's got. Okay. So yeah, he's lucky in the friends that he has. Mm-hmm. Marisol, were you asking a question?
No, it's something like the value of
there his you go.
Relationship
Exactly.
to friendship.
Yes, indeed. He has valuable friends. Friends are valuable friendships. More to the point. Okay, good. Well done, guys. So if you have a lot of friends, I mean, do you? Are you in the same boat as William Shakespeare, either of you? Are you wealthy in your friends?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a lot of friends, but with the friends I have, that's value.
There you go. Good. Well done. Yeah. So you have a lot of you have valuable friendships, even though you don't have many friends. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The same for you, Marisol?
Yes. Like Janet, I don't have too many friends, but I think the friends I have, they have for me, and I have I am for them.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Cool. Good. Excellent. Okay, let's press on. Marisol, would you like to read this one? The first one?
I never meet a man I didn't like.
I never meet or met?
Met.
Good choice. Correct. Yeah, I never met a man I didn't like. That's interesting. And Janet, can you read the second one, please?
Yes, I am free of all prejudice. I hate everyone equally.
Oh, shoot. So these are two kind of opposing quotations, right? So Will Rogers never met a man he didn't like, and W.C. Fields hates everyone equally. Which one do you agree with more? Marisol?
No.
Are you for number one or number two?
That too means it's like I'm sorry, Marisol.
I'm trying to understand both. But I think I prefer one.
You prefer the first one?
Yes.
You're kind of more inclined towards the first one. Understood. You try to understand and you try to like everybody that you meet.
No, I understand in other way. It's something like if I met a man or a woman and I don't like that person, I try to forget it.
Okay. So
and the other one is like everyone is equal. I hate everyone.
Yeah.
It's like like I don't have the opportunity to know that person or the other person. I think for me those quotes are different meanings.
Okay.
I don't know about Janet.
Well,
all right. Well, let's see. Janet, did you have a question?
Yeah, this one is more like a
sarcastic.
Thing.
It's pretty sarcastic.
Double sense, like is the opposite, right? Okay.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, they're pretty much opposites of each other. So in the first one, Will Rogers is saying that he's liked everybody that he's ever met. Yeah? Which is a bit interesting. I'm not sure if he was being funny or if he was being sarcastic or if he was being genuine. But that's what he's saying. Everybody that he's met, he has liked. Now, that is somebody who is obviously he's probably very open-minded, was probably very open-minded and kind-hearted and genuinely liked people. Some people are like that. They just love people. Yeah, whereas W.C. Fields, the exact opposite. He wasn't prejudiced against anybody because he hated everybody equally. That's interesting. That's some people have that attitude towards people. They just don't like people. I can think of somebody who's like that. The second one.
The chef.
Pardon?
The chef.
The chef. Your chef. Your chef at work. Oh, I was thinking of Donald Trump.
Oh.
Donald Trump hates everybody. He does. I think there are probably 3 people on this earth that he can genuinely say he likes, and that's his 3 children. I'm not even sure if he likes his wife. I'm sure he must, he probably likes having her around. But I don't think he has genuine affection for anybody apart from his children. He hates everyone. He hates everyone. He's full of prejudice. He is actually full of prejudice for everybody, I think.
They don't look like fall in love.
Sorry?
They don't look fall in love.
Fall in love?
Yes, his wife and Donald Trump.
Oh.
Like they are together, it's
could
like...
you imagine anyone being in love with Donald Trump?
No, his wife. His wife doesn't look fall in love with him.
It's and she makes it obvious that she doesn't like him. She doesn't like him. I mean, you can't really blame her, but she married him.
Yes.
She must have liked him enough at some stage to marry him, and I think they have, is it 1 or 2 children together? The younger one. I think they've had at least 1 child. She's had at least 1 child with him.
Yes.
So she must have liked him at some stage. But no, they don't look to be in love at all. Oh, okay. All right. Whose turn is it to read?
Me, I think.
Uh-huh.
Never let your fear of striking out get in your way.
Striking out.
Like
Striking out. Any ideas what striking out means? Any baseball fans here?
No. Not me.
Not you, Marisol. Janet, are you a baseball fan?
It's like strike 1,
strike 2. Strike 1, strike 2, and strike 3 is when you strike out, right? 3 strikes and you're out. Yeah, so that's it. That's it completely. So striking out is when you don't score any points. You don't hit a home run, you don't get to base, basically you're out. So you don't have any success. So striking out is another way of saying failing, okay? So to strike out is to fail. So having said that, let me put it in the chat here. What's Babe Ruth trying to say? He was a famous baseball legend. He set 100,000 records of various descriptions. So never let the fear of failing get in your way. What do you think that means, Janet?
If you fail with something, you continue to do it. You can get that right thing.
Oh, say again, please, Janet. I didn't hear the first part.
If you fail with something, you continue doing, and you get the right thing.
Yeah, you keep doing it. You keep doing it till you get it right.
So don't quit.
Don't quit.
Because you are afraid.
Exactly. Good. Never quit. Never give up. Yeah. Just because you might fail, don't let that stop you from trying. Quite right. Yes, indeed. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Marisol?
Yes, I know other quote. Is if you fail, you don't fail. You have you found other way how you don't do it. Something like that.
So you have
if you make a mistake, you don't find a mistake. You find another way how you don't need to do the things.
Right, yeah. So a mistake is basically a clue as to what to avoid. Yeah?
Yes.
Understood. Yeah, I agree. So you shouldn't think of it as failure. You should think of it as, well, I know that's the way not to do it. Yeah, quite right. Well done. Good. It's very, very similar. Yeah. Good. And to finish up here, we got about 5 minutes left, 5 or 6 minutes left. Let us talk about some places that we can go to practice our English. And, this is in a perfect world without a pandemic. Okay. So this is going to be a list that we make for after the pandemic has passed. So we can talk about, whatever comes to your mind. What are some places that you can go to practice your English? Let's brainstorm. Any ideas?
Places you can go to practice your English.
Where are we going to go to practice our English after the pandemic?
In the park.
In the park? What, with just random people, Marisol?
I'm sorry. Can you
with
say that?
Random people?
Random?
No one, with unspecific people, no one in particular. In the park with anyone in particular?
No.
No? Okay. We're just going to go to the park.
A nice person.
With nice people.
Yes.
Okay.
Or I don't have kids, but there are sports for kids in the park and the family is there. So
yes, indeed. Sports events in the park. Good. Sports events. Let's put sports or family events. Yeah.
Yes.
Because it doesn't necessarily have to be sports. It could be maybe a concert. It could be a community event. Okay, good. Sports events, family events, concerts, community events in the park. Cool, good. Anywhere else? What about you, Janet?
The church.
At church. That's a great place. Provided you go to church, of course. And provided you go to a church where people speak English, okay? If you go to a church where everyone speaks Spanish, then you're not going to be able to practice your English, are you? So you got to go to a church where they speak English as well as Spanish, or just English, yeah? But yeah, it's a great place to meet people. And if you're into church and if you're into your, it doesn't necessarily have to be a church service. A lot of churches have other activities like youth club, especially if you take your kids to Sunday school, which you probably don't, seeing as you're at class, but Sunday school. And say Bible study. A lot of churches have Bible studies. Yeah. So you have youth clubs, you have Sunday school, you have Bible studies at the church, you have church picnics. These are things that are probably not happening at the moment, but post-pandemic, I'm sure they will start again. Yeah. Cool. Anywhere else that anyone can think of?
Restaurants?
Uh-huh. Good. Restaurants. Good. This is actually number 4. I forgot to label number 3. Restaurants. And I will put on here with restaurants, of course, cafes. Yeah? So, coffee shops. Like Starbucks. Okay? And I'm not talking about your local panaderia. I'm talking about Starbucks, an American cafe, okay? If you go to the local panaderia, you will end up speaking Spanish. Not saying you can't go there to buy your stuff. You can go there to buy your pastries and your cakes and stuff, but not to talk to people because you will end up speaking in Spanish, okay? And you don't want that. You already know Spanish. You don't need to practice. Okay, and one more place.
Mamá, echaste un pedo.
One more place I'm looking for.
At school?
You mean here?
No, when the children come back.
Yeah, when the children go back to school. So you're talking about your kids' school?
Yes.
Good. So like with your with other parents maybe? Yeah?
Yes, or the teacher.
With other parents, with your kids' teachers. Good. With your children's teachers. Cool. Excellent. Nice one. All right. Maybe your library. I spelled library wrong. And maybe meetups, yeah? Local meetups. And you know, meetups don't necessarily have to be specifically language meetups. If you're interested, say in Marisol, you're interested in hiking, right? There's meetups for people that like hiking. So if you go to a hiking meetup, you don't necessarily have to go hiking with people, but there are people, believe it or not, that just get together to talk about hiking. You can join a hiking meetup. You can join if you're interested in wine, for example, you can join. You can look for a local meetup about wine. Yeah. I know that there's, for example, there's meetups in Denver for people who drink mate, Argentinian mate. There's people who just get together to do that. So I'm not suggesting you guys do it, but that's how obscure some of these meetup groups can be. Yeah. If you're interested in philosophy, there's people that get together to talk about philosophy, and you can join one of those meetups, a philosophy meetup. Yeah, for example. Those are just examples. Okay. So check out meetup.com. That's all in the chat there. All right. Any questions, guys, before we end off for today? Janet, did you want a new book or not?
Yes, I want.
Because I'm going on the basis that you're going to be doing some homework for me. Is that a good basis to go on?
Yes, so what day I can go to pick up?
Whenever, just let me know whenever you want to go. Either I will go down there and put one out for you, or I'll get my one of my teachers to do it.
Okay. Someone be at the school 2:30 or 3 p.m.?
They can put it out after that. So they're not just, you know, they put the books out by the door and you can go pick it up whenever you want to, okay?
Okay, yes.
They're not gonna meet you there and give it to you. They can put the book there with your name on it and you could go pick it up whenever.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so are you thinking maybe tomorrow?
Between tomorrow and Tuesday.
Okay, that's fine. I'll let them know. I'll let them know. And I will send you a text to confirm. Okay?
Okay. Yes.
All righty. Your homework is going to be pages 10 to 16 in your book, which is day 2. Okay?
Okay.
And of course, continue to watch as much as you can in terms of news and, you know, current affairs in English or movies. I'm not going to make you do all this other extraneous stuff because it's a lot of work. And I know that you guys have got your full-time jobs. So I'm just going to say do day 2 in your books. Okay?
Okay.
All righty. So I will send you a text, Janet, to confirm when that book's been left for you. And in the meantime, have a great week, guys. Continue to stay safe and stay healthy. And unless anyone else has any more questions, we'll call it a day for today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And see you next
weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Bye,
right.
Charlie.
Welcome. Have a great week, guys.
You too.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.